Health providers urged to give quality insurance services. International organizations and some embassies warned against interfering with local government election results. And in sports, Etienne Ndairagije to lead Tanzania mainland's national team into CAF Senior Challenge in Uganda. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. First, the national news. Health service providers have been called on to provide quality insurance services in accordance with contributions so that their beneficiaries see the relevance of paying for health insurance. The call was made in Dar es Salaam by the former Speaker of Parliament and Chairperson of the National Health Insurance Fund NHIF Board, Anne Makinda, during the launch of health insurance packages.
They must receive the right care. If not, the blame goes to NHIF because it is they who take the money. This is why we want to work very closely with service providers, but they must also remember that the provider offering the best service will have more clients, and we will pay a lot of our money to this particular provider. We've heard about kidney transplant, cancer treatment, and heart surgery, but for this to have an impact on an ordinary citizen, there must be an affordable way for the citizen to access such services. Therefore, as the Ministry of Health working with Health Insurance Fund, the only way was to come up with these packages. I'm grateful that I've received health care because a lot of people hoped for but were not able to access. I ask if more could join because health insurance enables a lot of us to access health care.
Kisutu Resident Magistrate Court has failed to continue hearing of the incitement case against 9 leaders of Chama cha Demokrasia na Maendeleo Chadema as the chairman of the party, Freeman Mbowe, had a doctor's appointment. The accused advocate Peter Kibatala told the court that Mbowe had to see his doctor at 10 in the morning to check on his health, after which he requested the court to adjourn the case until December 22nd. The prosecution, led by the Assistant Director of Prosecution, Joseph Pande, opposed the request and asked the court to continue hearing of the case as the defense has not stated that the accused is not in the position to continue with the case. Principal Magistrate Thomas Simba adjourned the case until November 29th this year. Now, the Secretary General of Chama cha Mapinduzi CCM, Dr. Bashiru Ali, has warned international organizations and some embassies to stop interfering with decisions made by Tanzanians on the local government election. Dr. Bashiru Ali gave the warning in Zanzibar during a party tour of Unguja district, where he also called on the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Professor Magamba Kabudi, to instruct the ambassadors to explain on why they are questioning the results of the recently held local government election. We have the authority of calling you. Secondly, what is their intention of intervening into our state matters? They should not dare us. I have also spoken to the Minister of Foreign Affairs about ambassadors who have been pleading to meet the Secretary General of CCM. They have no affairs with political parties. We don't need them, otherwise they should go to State House. I also spoke with Judge Mtungi and Minister Jafo over the phone and urged them not to go. I didn't have to call CUF party chairman nor ACT, NCCR, Mageuzi or Chadema because it was their wish to go or not. After 2 days, I received a letter of postponement, although the case is not over.
Masuala ya uchaguzi wa serikali za mitaa yanawahusu nini?
Now, the chairman of the National Electoral Commission, retired judge of the Court of Appeal, Themistocles Kaijage, has called on Tanzanians and political parties to recognize that no country can conduct elections peacefully without adhering to constitution, laws and regulations. Retired Judge Themistocles Kaijage made the statement in Mbeya when addressing political parties, civil society organizations, religious leaders, youth and women on upgrading of the voters registrar for the general elections in October next year.
No country will initiate elections without following the Constitution, respecting the Constitution, following and respecting the laws so that elections are held peacefully. You can't have peaceful elections without respecting and following laws that guide various elections. There are authorities in place to help anyone who has been mistreated.
Mamlaka zimewekwa za kuleta tiba kwa yeyote aliyeonewa.
Now, the Minister of Works, Transport and Communication, Isaac Kamwelwe, has said the Office of the Attorney General and other legal organs is still following up on the issue concerning the Bombardier plane, which was recently impounded in Canada. He made the statement when launching the new board of Air Tanzania Company Limited in Dar es Salaam, where he also called on Tanzanians to continue supporting ATCL's endeavors.
You must fulfill your duties as stipulated in the law. Secondly, you must increase revenue by ensuring that revenue is collected from all sources. Thirdly, you must increase the number of weather stations so as to meet national and international demand. Fourthly, to follow up on directives given by top national leaders regarding the weather. Fifthly, you must better the conditions of your staff to reduce staff turnover. We are faced with past dates, which is a big challenge. We urge you, Honorable Minister, to look into this so it doesn't reflect on our books.
The Minister of State, Second Vice President's Office in Zanzibar, Muhammad Aboud, has warned against mistreatment of people with disabilities and said that legal action will be taken against them. Minister Muhammad Aboud gave the warning when launching the policy for people with disabilities in Zanzibar.
We must get to a point where the people committing these acts are punished. It is too much. If you have an elder, child, or spouse who humiliates people with disabilities, you should be the first to inform us. We must address this matter together. The law is clear. There is no bail for those who commit such offenses.
According to the national statistics, 8% of Tanzanians have some form of physical or intellectual impairment. 6% of these are in Zanzibar. 75% of these people are in extreme poverty. To address this, UNFPA, in collaboration with the Department of Disability Affairs, came up with this project on the creation of a foundation for inclusion of persons with disability, including the development of Zuluishi database that collects data for persons with disability, possibly the first of its kind, and I've had some interest also from the mainland to develop similar databases.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and East Africa Cooperation, Professor Palamagamba Kabudi, has said challenges occurring in the East African community are an indication of achievements made and that the challenges can be addressed by member countries strengthening cooperation. Minister Kabudi made the statement in Arusha when opening the East African Business Council General Meeting.
A key responsibility on our hands is to make sure we increase investment in our countries, we start up industries and increase trade, but to do that, there has to be cooperation between member states, and countries lagging behind on industrial investment must be supported so they too can have products to sell in the East African market. We must also invest in science and technology so we can have a workforce made up of young people. The first 20 years were to lay the foundation, so the next coming 20 should be to build this house, which is East African community. We must build up trade and conduct it in the right way. Air travel costs must also be reviewed. It costs more to travel to one of East African destinations than to Europe, so improvements must be made on communication and infrastructure.
And 50% of France's support to civil society organizations in Tanzania is dedicated to projects on women empowerment. This was said by the French ambassador to Tanzania, Frederic Crelia, during the launch of musical play Jasiri that was co-organized by the French Embassy and Belgium embassies as part of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence.
The objective tonight of France and Belgium, but also with our Tanzanian friends, is to raise awareness on the risks of early pregnancies and gender-based violence by describing the challenges which are faced by many young girls in Tanzania. Tomorrow, 8,000 kids from schools in Dar es Salaam will come to the National Museum to watch the musical play, thanks to the support of the Belgian Embassy and the French Embassy.
Well, we are here in the framework of 16 days of activism for against gender-based violence. France and Belgium, we have decided to sponsor the musical, and more specifically a trailer of the musical. And we hope that that trailer can lead to incoming generating activities of the group who is going to perform, so that they can bring that show to the students here in Tanzania, so that they are more aware of gender-based violence and everything which is related to that. But I will.
And that is the end of national news. International news follows next. And in international news, the death toll of Kenyans who lost their lives in Kenya due to floods since the rains began 1.5 months ago has reached 118. The government has announced that it needs 1.1 billion shillings emergency funds to support victims of the floods.
118 lives have been lost. 350,000 people have been affected. 11,000 livestock have been washed away. Crops have also been damaged. 1.052 billion is needed in relief to reach all affected across the country. The government is doing everything it can to acquire the funds so it can be distributed to those in need.
The government of Burundi has accused Rwanda of attacking the country on November 16th this year at Cibitoke region, where west and now northern of Burundi. The government spokesperson said the government of Burundi will not tolerate such actions.
Burundi has been re-attacked by the army of Rwanda. on the night of November 16th this year at Mabai suburb, Chibitoke region, causing significant destruction and even loss of human life. The government of Burundi has agreed to continue to respect peace and development agreements on the side of the Great Lakes zones, as well as peacekeeping agreements and international agreements promoting good relationships between countries. However, Burundi will never tolerate such actions nor such attacks, and action will be taken. Burundi asks neighboring Lake Zone nations to break their silence, condemn, and put a stop to the actions of Rwanda towards Burundi.
And Uganda's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sam Kutesa, has said that U.S. sanctions imposed against some government officials will not affect diplomatic relations between the two countries. Minister Kutesa said being denied entry into the U.S. will only affect the individual officials and their families and will not involve the nation as a whole.
They are about individuals. And sometimes even the individuals they are talking about, there are no visa restrictions. Sometimes it is rumor to rumor, and it spreads and all, and everybody begins to think that's the truth. But if you have committed some crimes or whatever, or you are a threat to national security of any country, each and every country, including Uganda, has a right to bar you from entering it.
And that is the end of international news. Business news follows up next after the break. We'll be right back.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand.
You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news tonight. Mobile phone company Tigo has started a special system in partnership with Umoja Switch, which enable customers access financial services from ATM machines instead of having to go to agents.
The service we launched recently is one that enables Tigo Pesa customers to draw money from all Umoja ATMs. They no longer need to go to an agent. They can make withdrawals from the ATM.
Targeted world over, fraud has become a way of life in some economies. People are scheming at the ATMs, people are defrauding others, and of late they have begun bad habits like jackpotting, where they go through the cloud or the internet to fleece customers. So you can easily lose your money overnight if this infrastructure is not safe. So our infrastructure is built end to end with security, and without any doubt I can say that it's very difficult.
Bus owners have been urged to buy good quality spare parts and tires which have been certified by Tanzania Bureau of Standards so as to ensure the safety of their vehicles and passengers.
Lakini pia niwatake wananchi wenzangu ambao wanatumia magari haya.
I call on my fellow citizens that use these cars who, when they see low-cost tires which are not of good quality and decide to take them because of the price point. Well, the truth is, the most important thing to consider is your own life. I was speaking to the head of Superdoll, and he said these tires are of good quality. And we saw for ourselves in what way.
Ya Michelin ambao ni washirika wetu wakubwa katika teknolojia hii.
Michelin, who are our major participants in this technology, invest over 500 million euros each year in the science behind the production of these tires.
Sisi tunaona tuna wajibu mkubwa sana wa kuwafikia Watanzania wenzetu wakaelewa maana ya teknolojia hii na umuhimu wa kuitumia.
Now, custodial services in the banking sector will grow in the country once regulations are put in place. This was said in Dar es Salaam by the senior manager of custodial services from NMB Bank, Avita Masawe, when talking about measures being taken to raise awareness on the financial service which enables the bank to act on behalf of clients who have invested in government securities and listed equities.
Because it's what clients, when clients realize the benefit, then the fee won't be an issue. The issue is the awareness as they change, because currently they have been doing this for a number of years without custodian, and so far so good. But once they realize that, okay, if we use custodian, we are going to get these additional benefits that we do not have currently, then they will be able to adopt or engage custody services.
The end of business news. Sports news follows up next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Marquinhos, he did lose to Lendl.
And in sports news, Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa is expected to be guest of honor in tomorrow's fight between Tanzanian Hassan Mwakinyo and Filipino Arnett Tanampe at the Uhuru Stadium in Dar es Salaam.
I would like to tell Tanzanians that we are well prepared security-wise. You can come with your child and grandchildren to the fight to witness an entertaining night without chaos. We have more than 400 policemen for the job, and we also have Suma JKT who will strengthen security.
Etienne Ndairigije will lead Tanzania mainland's national team in CECAFA Senior Challenge, taking place from December 7th to 19th in Uganda.
The Taifa Stars coach will be the coach of Tanzania mainland. We should remember that we are still building our team, and despite the fact that Zanzibar players will be participating in the competition as the islands of Tanzania, we don't have enough time to prepare for CHAN. So we saw it fit for our coach to proceed with CHAN preparation. We know that the national team squad is made by a majority of mainland players.
Lakini vile vile tumekubaliana na mwalimu atakuwa anaendelea kuhakikisha kwamba anawafuatilia kwa karibu wachezaji wa kikosi.
Now Lionel Messi scored his 700th match for Barcelona and also set up goals for Luis Suarez and Antoine Griezmann as the Catalan assigned bet Borussia Dortmund 3-1 to sell a spot in the Champions League knockout stages as Group F winners.
Suarez put Barca in front at the packed and rocking Camp Nou in the 29th minute after having an earlier effort ruled out for offside before the Uruguayan set up Messi on his landmark night 4 minutes later. Griezmann finished off a pass from Messi to further stretch Barca's lead in the 67th minute and get a much-needed goal for his confidence after failing to score in his previous 6 appearances for the club. Dortmund's Jadon Sancho scored an impressive consolation goal for the German club in the 77th minute and then forced the Barca keeper Marc-Andre ter Stegen to turn a shot onto the crossbar.
And Manchester United will field the teenage trio of Ethan Laird, Deshaun Bernard and Dylan Levitt at Astana in the Europa League on tonight. Here are more details.
Along with the 36-year-old goalkeeper Lee Grant, who will make their debut in Kazakhstan, while the 19-year-old defender Mark Taylor is in the senior squad for the first time since cancer treatment. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer called Taylor, who received chemotherapy last year after being diagnosed with testicular cancer, an inspiration to the team. It's a fantastic story to see him coming back, Solskjaer said. I met Max very early after I got the job, and to have seen his journey back to full fitness and the way he's conducted himself, and it's something that he'll always have with him. Astana is the furthest United have ever travelled for a European tie. The 6,000-mile round trip will also involve temperatures dipping below -12 degrees centigrade in Nur Sultan.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin for tonight. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. Thank you for watching and good night.